Hello everybody! We are making this video because I am currently in town, as you can see, not currently driving, and do not have time to respond via text to all of the questions. So we're just going to cover a bunch of them right here so we can just copy and paste this video link and answer a bunch of questions. Before we get started, I want to set one little just terminology ground rule, that way no one gets confused. I'm going to be saying all other classes. When I say that, that means regular, chances, jumpers, touch and go tunnelers, weavers. Just so you know, when I say gamblers plus all other classes, that's what that means, is those 6 classes. So the vote that we currently have going for the grounders all-around natch is only in reference to the all-around natch. The all-around award will not be changing currently. That does not mean it won't change in the past, because in my personal opinion, it should include gamblers. But as of right now, we are not changing it because it's not really a huge issue right now. The all-around natch is an issue because the way that it's calculated is creating a huge amount of workload for us, and we need to get that fixed because we're spending a lot of time each week getting the all-around natches to look correct, and even sometimes they're not correct because we're having to do it by hand. That needs to get fixed. The all-around award is all the other classes plus hoopers, which is your superior title in hoopers. It does not currently include barrelers, it's just hoopers. So that's not going to change. So basically on January 1st, the all-around award is still going to be all the other classes and then grounders. But the points that you need, it'll still be 130 points in grounders. None of that is going to change. So in reference to the all-around award, you don't need to worry about that whatsoever. The issue with the all-around natch, so we're going to explain those options really quick. How we would like to do it, because it is the cleanest option, is that the all-around natch is all of the other classes plus grounders and gamblers. That's the cleanest way to do it because all of our coding is currently set up for looking at all the other classes and then looking for 2 other classes to give that all-around natch. And that's just how it works right now, and that's how it works the best. So that'd be the simplest way to transfer everything over once hoopers and barrelers get combined. So that's really the one we're really trying to get people to go for, because it is much simpler and we can get things really going very quickly without having to update a bunch of code. So that's really what we're aiming for. One thing that I see people are getting confused about, and I think it's because they aren't reading previous updates from when we originally had the vote about whether to combine hoopers and barrelers together, as far as what's happening there, is that those points are going to combine. So if you have 80 points in hoopers and 80 points in barrelers, you're going to have 160 points in grounders, which is going to get you to that natch level in that class. Now, the other thing that I think people are getting confused about because they haven't really read the previous update correctly is that if you are on your way to an all-around natch currently, so you are at the elite level in hoopers and barrelers, we are going to let you continue to get that all-around natch without gamblers, regardless of how this vote goes. It does not matter whether option 1 or option 2 wins on this vote. If you were already on that path to getting your all-around natch via the old requirements, we're not going to now force you to get 130 points in gamblers. I would kind of hope people would know us by this point and would know that we wouldn't do that to you, but obviously that's not the case. But we're not going to do that to you. So what would happen is, let's say you had 30 points in hoopers and 20 points in barrelers. So those are going to combine. That's going to give you 50 points. Since you have those 50 points, we're going to let you finish off that all-around natch just with grounders, because you're already on your way with hoopers and barrelers. We're not going to make you start back over in gamblers. So you will be able to finish that all-around natch with those points that you already have. The next one, on the other hand, you will have to get gamblers. But for that one, for like your all-around natch 2, you're essentially starting fresh anyways, because you already have to start from the beginning with that. So that's not a huge concern there. We're not going to make anybody start from scratch on an award that they are already on their way to earning. Now, option 2. The reason we don't like option 2 very much is because it requires a little more work on our end and a little more coding work, which I really don't want to have to do. So the difference is that option 2, the all-around is still going to include grounders and gamblers. That's basically not really an option at this point. It's just that's going to happen. But it's whether we also include another new award, which is basically what would be the old all-around award, which would be all the other classes. And then in this case, it's going to just be grounders. And then the all-around would stay as grounders plus gamblers and all the other ones. So everyone who said, you know, there's not really a difference, there is a difference. The reason we don't really like this difference is because it's really kind of it's kind of a cheap award, in my opinion, because you're basically taking, you know, you have to get a natch, requires 3 different classes. Your versatility natch then requires another 3 classes. And currently your all-around requires an extra 2 classes. And we would like to keep that structure. If we do this option 2, then we're basically creating an award where you only need that 1 more class. And then the all-around just requires another 1 more class. And it's really, we don't personally like it because it's it kind of cheapens the award a little bit. But that is the difference between option 1 and option 2. Either one of those, the all-around award is still going to require gamblers and grounders, because we really want the all-around award to, all-around natch, sorry, I've probably been saying that wrong. The all-around natch to encompass all of the classes. And then we'll have to come up with a new name if the option 2 ends up winning the vote, for that kind of less, whatever you want to call it, which is all the classes plus grounders. Hopefully that answers everybody's questions. This went a little bit longer than I intended. Worst case scenario, if people are still very confused, we're just going to pull this vote down completely and then start fresh with a better explanation of everything. That way everyone knows what they're voting for. Or worst case scenario, if this turns into just crossfire of everyone's personal opinions really becoming this huge issue, we'll just take away the voting option entirely and we'll just make that decision ourselves and then take the heat for that decision ourselves, rather than this becoming we kind of need to make these decisions fairly quickly. We don't really want to drag this out over the course of a couple of months because that's going to kind of mess with our schedule a bit. So we'll see how everyone does. Now you've got a little better explanation. Like I said, if we need to pull it and re-upload with a better explanation from the get-go, we can do that as well. But yeah, hopefully that explains everything a little bit better. I think a lot of things could also be solved by reading the previous vote and some of the explanations in that page on the NATAC news page, for that vote when hoopers and barrelers got combined. Because there's a lot of little notes in there that would probably be helpful, such as we're not going to make anyone start from scratch for an award that they're already on track to earning. So hopefully that clears everything up. Thank you, everybody. And hopefully I'll be back at a computer soon where I can actually respond via text and not video.